been watching all these videos on YouTube of people in their vans showing how they heat their vans up on cold nights. And some use the Mr. Buddy heaters, or whatever they are, Mr. Heater Buddy. And some just have a gas stove and light that. But it sort of brought me to remember something I'd made when I first moved into my house. If you've seen my wood cutting common myths and shortcuts, you'll see that my first year, due to people telling me to split wood, was a must. I split all this wood and primarily, instead of splitting it, I just used small stuff, and then found out that it burns very quick, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night quite cold. So I made up a little thing that I like to call a residual heat device, which is this, and I found it sitting around my house. Now all this is basically an old olive oil container, and I've used a citronella lamp in there, which is a bit hard to see, it's all black. And you may think, well, what's that, is it running kerosene or lamp oil? Well, believe it or not, that is standard vegetable oil. That's right. Now, it's only got a very, very short wick. I used to actually have, somewhere I've still got a second one of these lamps. And if you're worried about your wick burning and smouldering away, being a little cotton one like this one, if you go to the section of the hardware store that sells citronella oil lamps, and outdoor lamps of that type, you'll find an accessory in amongst the accessories, which is basically wicks made out of fiberglass, and they never burn out because the glass can't burn, although the cotton can. Another bit I had, your little notches there, I was worried it may smoke, so I cut a piece out, and that sort of sits like that. And it still sits under there, and it still gives out a bit of warmth. But in case a moth decides to fly on there, or a mosquito, or something happens and it goes a bit funny, and starts smoking, which it never usually does, the smoke will be caught on the top of this, and it'll save it getting on the roof of my bedroom. Or the ceiling of my bedroom, rather. But quite simply, a lot of people think when you burn oil it smokes like anything, because of their experience of letting their frying pan get too hot and smoke going everywhere when they've got oil in their frying pan. But if you actually deliberately light oil, it'll smoke if your wick's too long, but if your wick's the right length, it'll be fine. And I think the big advantage to using something like this, oh, it's warm, over gas heaters is lack of carbon monoxide. And the other reason why I've put this, like I have inside this, is because if it spills out, it doesn't light up on the floor, it just fills up into an oil container. So yeah, that's my 2 cents worth, and they're actually good for keeping the chill out of the air all night long.